Hello, everybody. Welcome to the season finale at Lind, drivers meeting. I'm Keto.
And I'm Katie. This drivers meeting has two parts. We're going to talk to you a little bit about what to expect at the event, how you can prepare, but then there's also a link to a cone basics video as well. That will tell you how to read cones. If this is your first event or you're still pretty new, give that a watch. It's linked in the little comments. Two parts there. You also should have received an email. That email has all the information, the schedule, everything you should know about the race weekend as well. So please read that all the way through so that you were prepared. We have one important call out before we get into all the usual things and the event specific things. A little bit of a fire chat to have with you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of concern, obviously, in Lind. It's been a very dry summer. So one thing is that if you have an extra fire extinguisher, bring it, for your paddock area. We cannot have smoking out on course. There's course area that gets out sort of by the dry area. And so we can't have any smoking out there throughout the day at all, or night, anytime, period. So, if you have to light a cigarette, there's the big gravel lots or out in the stadium stands area or whatever, away from other people, and away from fire dangers.
Yep, so there's a big fire out in Lind this year, and so they're just extra sensitive, and we're going to do our part to make sure that we don't cause any problems.
Yes.
Okay, so this event is a 2-day event. But you likely either you signed up for 1 day, which is when your class races, or you could have signed up for 2 days, which is when your class races and fun runs. So fun runs are just like a normal race day. You have a race session and a work session. You have a work assignment as well as part of the day. If you only signed up for your race day, you only have to come for 1 day. You don't have to come for both. If you did sign up for both days, please come and stay for both. You have a work assignment. It is sort of an obligation once you sign up to stay for the entire day, even though it's just fun running, not competition. So when you get there, you're going to sign a waiver at the gate. You will pay $10. $10 goes to the Lions Club, which is the local organization out there. You will be directed to park in the paddock area, and you're going to prep your car for tech inspection. One thing to note is when you sign and pay, you'll get a wristband. If you're staying for 2 days, wear that wristband both days. That way you don't have to sign and pay on the second day when you get there. Mm-hmm. So you have your car ready for tech inspection. You go to tech inspection. What are they going to check?
Well, first of all, we want your car to be in race trim. So that means that everything needs to be out of it, floor mats, anything loose in there, the proper wheels and tires on there, so on and so forth, number stickers, all of that stuff. Then we're going to check your mechanicals. We're going to check under hood, throttle return, batteries, solid, that wheel bearings are in good shape, that, wheels aren't going to fall off. We're going to check seat belts, brake pedal, all that kind of stuff. We're also going to check your helmet, make sure that, your helmet either has a sticker or we're going to check it to give you a sticker to pass for this year.
What's the common issue with batteries?
Common issue with batteries is the cover, positive terminal not being covered. Yep. So that's the most common issue. Also, if the battery can move around and flop around, that's also a failure, so.
If you're sent back from tech, that's usually what the issue is. So we like to get ahead of it.
That or the car not being empty. Those are the two. Like, I'll tell you, go empty your car or come back. Yeah. So.
Yep.
So yeah, just save us the trouble, get all that stuff done ahead of time. Show up to tech just as you would to race, and yeah.
So once you're done with tech, you're going to pull up to check-in. We'll check your driver's license. We will confirm your number, the class you registered for. We'll get you all checked in, and then you should go park your car and walk the course. Yes. Look at the schedule. Give yourself tons of time to walk the course. You want to be able to walk it multiple times. Lind is really fun in that there's multiple surfaces and there's transition points between them. So be sure to walk them, have a plan, give yourself a lot of time for that. Yes. When it is time for us to get going, you might race first or you might work first. So be sure that you are either in the grid or at the timing tent checking in to get your work assignment at the time you're supposed to. And then we will either send you out to work or you will grid up. You will have a parade lap and then we'll race. The day is structured so that we have a morning race session. We do an hour lunch break and then an afternoon race session, and then awards. So you might have race, lunch, work, or you might have work, lunch, race, but either way, know the schedule. We'll give you a little bit of info when you get there.
And the awards are always at the end.
The awards are always at the end. We definitely don't give them out first.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so the course itself, it is going to be marked out with cones. We have a whole video. I think Katie talked about it earlier. So if you're not familiar with this, please watch that video so you know where to go. Also, your time is total time. We don't have any dropped runs. It's your time plus your penalties, and that is your final time.
How does one incur a penalty?
Well, you can incur a penalty a whole bunch of ways, but mostly it's by hitting cones. Okay, so if you hit a cone, it's going to cost you 2 seconds. If you go around the wrong side of the gate, it's going to cost you 10 seconds. Yeah, and then also please remember that finish cones, anything within 50 feet of, the course count. So all of the finish cones also count.
And if you want to see your times.
Yeah, so if you want to see your times, we usually have a scoreboard up that you can see, but we also have a local Wi-Fi that you can plug into and get scores. Yeah.
All right, so you're at the line. It's time to race. What do you need to do?
Not chicken out.
Don't chicken out.
Yeah.
Nothing to be afraid of.
No. Need to have your helmet on. Make sure that seatbelt is attached and secured. You might want to give it a tug and make sure that it's securely in there so you don't end up on your head like Ed. And then you need to have your windows up. You're allowed a 1-inch crack at the top of the window where there is a person. So passenger window, back windows can be wide open if you so want to fill up your car with dust. If there's somebody in the passenger seat, that window needs to be up. And if there's somebody in the passenger seat, I'm really hoping I don't have to say this to drivers, but if there's somebody in the passenger seat, they cannot be holding a phone or a camera. It also applies to drivers. Don't want to have to say it, but I'm going to say it here. So no one can be holding something in the car during the run. So if you want to get video, get a good solid mount for your GoPro or your phone, put it on there solid, press record and drive.
Yep. It is your responsibility as the driver, if you have a passenger, to make sure that they know the rules. So you need to tell them they have to have a helmet. You need to tell them they can't be holding a phone.
That's right.
All of that. So
That's
just
right. You are pilot in command. You control what's going on inside your car. You're responsible. If we see you are a passenger with a phone or a camera in their hand, they'll be red flagged and we get a DNF for that run. So it's not the most competitive way to race.
I don't know why that just made me think of like the big 90s camcorders on your shoulder. Like, what if somebody would you be okay with that?
No, I would not. And you probably need a couple of extra straps if you're going to bolt that in your car.
Oh, I meant on their shoulder. Anyway, all right. So you're out on course
so
and you see you see a cone down. What do you do?
Okay, you have 2 choices here. If there's a cone down or severely out of place, like in the middle of the course or something like that, you can stop and point to the cone. You get the course workers' attention. Once you have their attention, then get moving. I would suggest to you that you run the rest of the course at competition speed. It is to your advantage to see the course at speed, but also we don't want the one behind you catching you. And so get out of there. Make your point and move on. We will give you a rerun if it is down. Your other option is you can drive as if that cone does not exist, because it will not be counted against you if the cone is already knocked down or severely out of place like that. To me, that is the fast way to do it, because now that's one less gate that you have to avoid. Drive through it, make a straighter line. But that's your option. Those are your 2 choices. If you pass that cone, get to the next element, and you want to stop back, nope, don't do it. It's too late. And don't come to us at the end of the run and be like, there was a cone down out in the run, I want to rerun. No, you're welcome to come and tell us there's a cone down. We'll make sure that it gets back up, but there will be no reruns once you've completed your run if you have not stopped.
What if you're driving along and you see a course worker waving a red flag at you?
And you stop as quickly as you can in a safe manner. You wait, course worker will come up and give you some direction. You're to sit there and wait until they do give you direction. Sometimes ahead of you, there may be an issue that is taking us a while to, take care of, car stuck or something along those lines, you're just going to have to wait. They will give you direction, tell you what to do. Please follow their direction. We do appreciate when we tell you to go back at parade speed that you guys do not go out at, full tilt, but we're still waiting for you. So, we don't need to drive Ms. Daisy through the course. We can, get a move on a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
What if that red flag is for you because you had a DB?
Well, somebody will come up and talk to you and tell you that you have a DB. We will probably not have you finish the course because we do not want you to drive over our finish cords, because there's a chance that you can cut the cord or catch the cord on your car. If you get a DB'd, we are going to red flag you, and we do ask that you red flag somebody who has a DB because of the safety issue. It makes the car list to that side, the wheel can dig in, and it just promotes rollover. So if you get a DB, we will red flag you. You will have 10 minutes to fix it. You must have it either reseated, new wheel, whatever it takes to get back to the start line. You have 10 minutes. After that, it's a DB, or it's a DNF. Sorry, it's got this D word stuck in my head. You do get one rerun. If you get a second DB, then it's just a DNF. So make sure that if you do get a DB, that you make sure that you maybe up your tire pressure a little bit or something along those lines to help keep you from knocking another tire off your wheel.
Yep. And you get 1 10-minute timeout. In this circumstance, it would be used to fix your DB, but you otherwise have that available to you.
Correct.
It starts when you're at the line. So if you think
it starts when you're supposed to be at the line.
That's right.
Yes.
So if you have a mechanical issue and you want to go fix it, you must tell someone in grid or someone at timing that you're taking your 10 minutes.
Yep.
We will start the timer at the time where you're supposed to be at the start line. We
Right.
know because of the order people go in.
Right.
We'll start it. If you get back with your issue fixed, you get your run like normal.
Yes.
If not, you get a DNF for that run, but you can keep racing if you still get the issue fixed. You'll just have one of your runs scored with a DNF.
Right. So let me also be clear. So if you finish a run and you have, an issue and you're asking for 10 minutes and you come back and let everybody know, you're back, and before your time to run, you have not used any of your 10 minutes and it's still available to you. However, if you use part of your 10 minutes, let's just say for argument's sake, you use 30 seconds of your 10 minutes, you're 30 seconds late getting back before the run, you will, basically be use up your 10 minutes. It's a one and done. We don't parcel it out 2 minutes here, a minute there, 3, it's one time up to 10 minutes, just to be really clear.
You usually have a good amount of time between when your last run finished and your next one started. So don't freak out that you won't have time to do little things in between runs. Okay, so the other part of your day is course working. So so first of all, it is required. You may not skip out on your work assignment. That is an action that will have us asking you not to come back. It is required. It is a part of what makes these events work. So please be sure to stay for your work assignment. When you're out on course, we ask that you wear an orange vest, not any other color, because we use different colors to designate different types of people. Like media wear yellow. So if you're bringing your own vest, it must be orange. When you're out on course, you have to be on your feet. Your eyes need to be on the course at all times. So that means no sitting, no looking at your phone. Conversations can happen with you and your course working friends, but you still have to have your eyes on the course. The one exception is if we take a mid-run tractor break or some other break, feel free to take a load off, sit down at your station. That's totally fine. We will communicate that over the radio so that you know when it is okay to relax. If we do take a tractor break, that is not a time to go off, go back to your car, go do a bunch of things. Like you stay put, it won't be long. It's important that we still have you ready to work when it's time to go so we can keep the event moving. You may not take photos or videos when you are out at your workstation. There's another area where we seem to have recurring issues. That is another thing that's a giant safety issue. And so if we see you posting videos from your workstation after the event, we will have a stern talking to with you the first time, but there's not a lot of leeway there. It's a huge, huge safety risk.
All right. When you're working course, what we're asking is that you pay close attention to what's going on out there. I myself would want everybody paying close attention, accurate calls for when I'm taking runs. And so it's only fair when it's the other way around that you do the same. And so I know sometimes it's frustrating, you know, you can break your car doesn't work, or things didn't work out right or whatever, you know, and then you're out there working on course. You need to put that away. It's their turn. You had your turn, it's their turn. You know, let's give them the respect that we all want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So each corner has a comm captain. Comm captain has a red flag. Captains, please have your flag rolled up in your hand. Don't be waving it around. We had a fun situation where somebody used it to block the sun from their eyes at the last event, and the driver got really confused. So let's not do that. Roll it up, hold it in your hands. Radio, they also have a radio. The radio is what we use to both communicate with you and have you communicate with us. So for example, if you see a driver hit a cone, you will radio in COM 1, car 123, 1 cone. You also need to be listening, because it may be what we do to tell you there's a red flag. We may say full course red flag. We may say red flag at just comms 1 and 2. And it's important that you hear the specific calls so that we can maintain safety on the course. Before you go out, or once you've gone out, but we haven't started, we will actually do a radio check across the course, make sure everyone can hear everyone. It's important that you know where your corner stops and starts. So you know where your responsibility starts and ends. So you should work with the corners next to you. Make sure you know which cones you're responsible for. You need to know where those cones started so that you can put them back when someone hits them. You can put them back exactly where they were. If you need to use a marker like a stick or a rock or whatever, just be sure you're keeping your cones exactly how they were when you started. Anything else on course working, cone management, radios?
No.
Okay. So, one thing, the weather's going to be interesting at this event. The high is in the 70s, which is amazing. It's going to be sunny, but the low is in the 40s. So maybe bring your summer clothes, your sunscreen, your water, and your winter clothes, and your like instant boil, jet boil, whatever it's called. You know, just be prepared for everything.
From history, I would say windbreaker might be a good idea.
Yeah, it is windy there.
And next one, you know, we had the little mini tornado or the hurricane, whatever tornado. Yeah, that we had there the one day, one time. Yeah. So
be prepared, wear layers, but still be prepared for warm weather and cold weather. It'll be interesting, I think. Spectators are welcome and encouraged at this event. The Lions Club in Lind, they do a lot of really great work in the community. So they offer scholarships, they buy glasses for people in need, just any number of things. And so all of the money that we bring to them by way of our rental fee, the $10 fee at the gate, and they have a concession stand. So they bring in volunteers to cook up hamburgers and hot dogs, they have French fries and drinks and snacks. Popcorn. Oh yeah, they have good popcorn. Mm-hmm. Come, bring your friends, bring your family, your crew, have lunch, support them so that we can continue to support the local area. Camping is allowed. Mm-hmm. So we talked about fire safety. Please just be super, super careful and mindful when you're camping. It's going to get cold at night, so don't forget that. Bundle up. Dogs are allowed. Just be sure they are always on a leash and you pick up after them. It's important that we leave the place better than we left it. Pick up your trash. Mm-hmm. I think that's everything. Yeah, we sent you an email, like I said. If you didn't get it or you have any questions, you can contact us, info@nwrallyassociation.com. Otherwise, we'll see you all in a week for the last event of the season.